Hi, students. Today we will learn to write a composition for the English language SPM Paper 1, Directed Writing. The lesson in on writing an informal letter. For an informal letter, you need to know the format used. First, write address of sender on the right side. Then, write date, spell month in full, after the address. Also on the right. Skip a line and then write salutation dear, before you start the first paragraph. Then, continue with normal paragraphing. Normally you have to write at least 3 paragraphs for introduction, content and closing or ending. Lastly, sign off with your on the right. Then followed by signature on the right. Let us look at this question. Your friend from Australia has heard about Visit Malaysia Year 2020 campaign and mentioned her plan to visit Malaysia in her previous letter. Write a letter giving her important information about your country. In your letter, include the following. For content 1, weather, hot and humid. Content 2 is suitable clothing. Content 3 and 4, languages spoken, language 1, and languages 2. Content 5 is food paradise. Content 6, cultural activities. Content 7, places of interest. Content 8 and 9 are popular festivals, Festival 1, Festival 2. Content 10 and 11, accommodation, homestay, hotel. Lastly, content 12 is describe people in Malaysia. When writing the letter, you should remember to lay out your letter correctly, address, salutation, closing. Develop all the points given. Give your own ideas when needed. Now, we can write the letter to John, a friend from Australia. This is how you write the address of sender and the date. Remember, for date you have to spell the month is full. The salutation always start with dear. So, here we write Dear John. For the first paragraph, write greeting and the reason for writing the letter to John. I received your letter yesterday. In your letter, you told me that you heard about Visit Malaysia 2020 on the local broadcast channel and you plan to visit soon. I am extremely over the moon reading about this. In this letter, I will provide information about my country. For the second paragraph, write on content 1 on weather hot and humid and content 2 wear suitable clothing. Malaysia, as most Southeast Asian countries, is a hot, humid, and rainy place. If you're traveling to this area and aren't sure how to dress, here are some tips. Shorts are the most comfortable and cotton is probably the coolest fabric. But if you prefer long pants, stay away from heavy denim. Since the humidity can be quite high, evaporation cooling doesn't really work here. So the synthetic materials that are supposed to keep one cool and dry don't. For the second paragraph, write on content 3 first language spoken and content 4 for the second language spoken. There are several languages spoken in Malaysia, and you can expect to hear quite a variety even if you're only there for a short time. The official language of Malaysia is Malay, officially known as Bahasa Malaysia. This is taught in schools, and is the language commonly used on television and radio broadcasts, government speeches and many more. You might get a bit confused the first time you hear somebody speak Manglish in Malaysia. It's an English-based Creole unique to the country, mixing English with vocabulary from Malay, Tamil, Cantonese, Mandarin, and other languages. For the third paragraph, use content 5 food paradise. Without a doubt, Malaysia has one of the top cuisines in the world due to incredible taste and extremely good value. When you blend together Malay, Chinese, and Indian cuisines, gastro perfection is inevitable. There is no denial, Malaysia is a food heaven. Restaurants open very early through wee hours in the morning. There is food for every budget. For the fourth paragraph, use content 6 cultural activities, content 8 for festival 1 and content 9 for festival 2. We will use content 7 later. As Malaysia is a cultural melting pot, cultures and cuisines have blended throughout the country. Many days of the year are dedicated to religious and cultural celebrations in Malaysia. Hindu celebrations like Taipusam, boisterous and lively Chinese New Year festivals, the nationally observed month of Ramadan for the Malays, where breaking the fast at food markets is a favorite activity, the elaborate Christmas decorations in the malls, all of these are celebrated vivaciously in Malaysia. For the fifth paragraph, now we use content 7 for places of interest. Malaysia has diversity in landscapes, culture and activities. From walking around Penang's UNESCO-listed Georgetown and Malacca's historical core, to exploring isolated islands and spending time in Borneo's 130 million-year-old jungle, tourists have plenty of places to visit in Malaysia. First, Malacca City, capital of Malacca State, oozes with history and culture. Featuring as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2008, the colonial city along the Straits of Malacca attracts visitors for its architecture, food and famous Jongka Street night market. Not only has this historical city experienced periods under the Portuguese and Dutch, but the 15th century Malacca Sultanate is widely considered to be the golden age for Malay culture. St. Paul's Church, a famosa fort and Stad Bays, the official residence of the Dutch governor, are top attractions. Next, Penang always features as one of the top places to visit in Malaysia. The state, named after the Penang tree that looks like a palm tree, divides between Butterworth on the mainland and Georgetown on Penang Island. Georgetown is an open museum. The colonial district boasts a wide selection of British buildings, churches and Fort Cornwallis. For the sixth paragraph, use content 10 and 11 on accommodation, homestay and hotel. The mainstay of the travelers seen in Malaysia are guest houses. Located in popular tourist areas, these can range from simple affairs in renovated shop houses to modern multi-story buildings. In certain areas, homestay is available, whereby you stay with a Malaysian family, paying for your bed and board. Though facilities are likely to be modest, homestays can be a good way to sample home cooking and culture. Meanwhile, hotels range from the cheapest, mid-range to high-end. For the seventh paragraph, we use the last content 12 to describe people in Malaysia. Malays, Chinese, Indians and many other ethnic groups have lived together in Malaysia for generations. All these cultures have influenced each other, creating a truly Malaysian culture. Malaysians are noted for their friendliness and warm hospitality. This is also probably why we've earned the recognition as the second friendliest city in the 50 friendliest cities in the world list. For the last paragraph, the closing or ending, you need to express your hope concerning John's visit to Malaysia soon. I hope you will enjoy reading my letter. It is guaranteed to help you know Malaysia better. Don't worry about anything when you are here. I will arrange your visit here with my parents and friends so that your stay will be full of fond memories. Then, you can write a sentence to end the letter like "Bye for now. See you in Malaysia soon." After that, write your friend and sign your name at the end of the letter. So, we have ended the lesson on how to write an informal letter. Try to write a few informal letter by answering the SPM questions given. Good luck in your writing.